Welcome to 72 Dragons. My name is Dr. Pietro Aparicio, and today we are thrilled to introduce you to John Dean Alfone, the owner of Corsair Media Productions. Corsair Media Productions is a video production service company based in Houston and New Orleans, established in Louisiana in 2007 as a limited liability corporation. They have been delivering exceptional video production services. John Dean Alfone is an accomplished writer with a strong focus on the entertainment industry. He has written professionally about the entertainment industry for Curve, Studio Daily, Below the Line, P3 Production Update, Offbeat, Anti-Gravity, Culture Dose, Houston Press, Delta Style, Louisiana Weekly, and We're Yacht Magazine. We are also joined by Michael David Raso, an accomplished editor and producer known for his outstanding work on projects like the Arnold Travels 2015 or Last Vacation 2018 and Christmas on the Gulf 2014. John and Michael, it's truly an honor and a pleasure to have you with us today for this interview. Without any further ado, let's begin the conversation. John and Michael, can you tell us about your journey in the entertainment industry? And can you tell us how you started Corsair Media Productions? What inspired you to specialize in video production services?
I went to university in New York City. I went to Columbia University, and I had a writing ability my entire life. So I decided, okay, well, what would be a contemporary way to utilize that? And I decided to apply for film school. So I went to City College of New York and got a Master's of Fine Arts. I actually wrote an article about my journey, and it's referred to as a labyrinth. I hope everyone who's watching this understands that. It's just been a gigantic maze, not unlike the ending of Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. It's like, where the hell am I going? So that has been my journey. Have anything else to add? What about you, Michael?
You know, I've always loved video production. I've been playing with cameras since I was a child, and it just I went to UL Lafayette, where originally I was going for computer science. Then I was terrible at it at the time, so I tried theater. And for an elective, one day I took a journalism class, and I picked up a video camera for that class, and it felt really right. The editing felt right. The video camera felt right, and it just was something that I believed in when I did it. I just felt very comfortable around video equipment, and the rest is history.
Great. Thank you for sharing that story. Corsair Media Productions, what sets you apart from others in the industry?
One thing that you should realize is Michael and I are in two different cities right now. I'm in Houston, Texas, and Michael is in New Orleans. I've worked as what's called a local in New Mexico, and for you all who are not familiar, Louisiana, Texas, and New Mexico are all adjacent to each other. And I've worked on 10 TV shows, streaming programs in New Mexico, all nationally broadcast. And so my focus is about regionalism. And so I think for opportunities to work in this very, very competitive industry, I've made it a mandate to kind of capture the essence of all three of those states. I think when you limit yourself to just one city, this has been my experience, then you're limiting your opportunities. So a lot of my writing has to do with the South and the Southwest of the United States. And for better and for worse, I made a decision several years ago that I'm going to set up my beachhead here. And I've lived in northern New Mexico, the Taos County area. I've lived all over Texas, the second most prosperous state in the USA. And I've also lived in New Orleans, and I've worked in all three, which is in Louisiana, all three areas. And I've got 35 credits for movies, TV, and streaming to my name. So
definitely very impressive work. John, with your extensive writing experience in the entertainment industry, what drives your passion for storytelling, and how does it influence your work as a video producer?
I think I'm a very stubborn person. I've just got it in my head. It's in my DNA that I am just taking this to the end. And, it's been a very arduous, difficult journey, and I just haven't quit. I don't know. It's just, there's, certain people are born a certain way. Some people in this industry have tremendous luck or a breakthrough when they're 10 years old. And some people can be 85 years old and never get their break. And somewhere in the middle there. And I don't know. I've got it in my head that I'm just going to keep going. And I'm, fortunate I met Michael because he's an unorthodox thinker. And, I appreciate that.
Great. Sounds like you guys make a good team. Michael, as an editor and producer, what specific skills and techniques do you bring to the table when working on projects? And what sets you apart from other editors?
What sets me apart? What skills do I bring? I'm weird. Straight up, I'm a strange person with strange views. The way I see the world is not the way most people see it. I can't give one example off the top of my head, though that would be helpful, but I just see things differently than most people do, and it influences everything I do. I don't try to make things that are normal. I don't try to normalize anything. Just keeping that things a little peculiar, a little odd, a little weird is what I bring. Plus, I genuinely love what I do. It's not just a job for me, it is a passion. That really helps as well, because after a while, anything you do, if you're not careful, will be just a job. So I've made sure to keep that in my mind, that this is something I genuinely believe in when I do it.
Great. It sounds like it brings something unique, and think weird works in this industry.
Definitely can.
That's right.
It's not a liability per se.
No, it can turn things into very interesting and exciting things. Are there any upcoming projects or initiatives that you are excited about and would like to share it with our audience?
Michael and I shot a proof of concept project called the Arnold Chronicles, the Arnold Travels. I've shortened it to the Travels. I'm not too worried about the title. And it's a 1950s period piece about two American Marines following the Korean War, who wander aimlessly through the American Southwest in search of meaning, romance, adventure. So we're strategically discussing how to launch it into a longer form. I think one strategy could be simply make it into a pilot, which would be 30 minutes. And, from there, I, during the pandemic lockdown, watched a lot of series. In fact, I probably have been watching since COVID-19 more series than actually theatrical movies, although there are two that I'm interested in seeing in the next 2 days. But yeah, so I think launching a 30-minute piece, if I can call it that, Michael might want to chime in on that, would be something that would be very doable. It'd be a great challenge, but I think it's something we could accomplish. And, what that is going to look like, not entirely sure yet. We're seeking strategic partners. I'm talking to prospective investors. I've got 3. It's a dance. For those who are single, it's a lot like dating. You're trying to just, make your move when everything feels right. So that's one project we have. We've got a couple others, but that's the one that's this morning is on my mind. Not sure if Michael wanted to chime in on that.
There are 2 others, but I'm not sure John wants to bring them up. One is the Wheel of Fortune.
It's a Roman Clef biopic based on a true story. It's very difficult to discuss because there's this gray legal matter, but it's about a woman who is Italian who leaves behind a life of luxury and is a bit of a celebrity in her home country, a university student who is doing extremely well with a very promising future, and decides to leave behind that existence to write a beatnik novel, travels to South America, ends up in my hometown and the current city where Michael lives, in New Orleans, befriends a bunch of street musicians and French Quarter denizens, and disappears without a trace. So it's a non-linear piece that fuses both the present, past, where she had kindled a relationship with a sculptor of metalworks, and arguably a future. It takes place with multiple timelines in a search for what happened. It's something that took me several years to write, and I was able to finish it during the aforementioned lockdown. I never thought it would actually get done, and I'm older now. Michael did help me get that Arnold Chronicles proof of concept done. And again, that was something that was in my head that I thought would never materialize. I participated online in the European film market, and I saw that genre, a lot of ideas that were being pitched, and I see more of that coming next year.
That's fantastic. Thank you for the previews of the coming projects. John and Michael, we want to express our heartfelt gratitude for generously taking time to meet with 72 Dragons. We sincerely wish you both the very best in all your future endeavors. Thank you for the interview.
I want to pay
you for having us.
Yeah, and I want to pay you all a compliment, Dr. Aparicio. I saw all of the coverage you had on the 72dragons.com website, and honestly, I was a bit overwhelmed of all of your coverage for Con. So it's very exciting. I'm always inspired when I see people who are interested in, as an ex-girlfriend of mine used the word culture. It's just, there's really important stories out there, and they find us when we least expect them, and they can be very powerful and change our lives.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for your words. Thank you both.